Welcome back to the show, Extra Rich. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and hit the bell button next to it so you're notified whenever these videos drop. On the menu today, we have They Keep Screaming Privilege like it's some invisible force holding them back. But let's be honest, the only real privilege left in this country is being able to fail over and over and still have someone else foot the bill. That sounds quite interesting. So let's jump into it.
I'm so sick and fucking tired of hearing about privilege. Privilege isn't being white. I'm so sick and fucking tired of hearing about privilege. Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your fucking bills. Get it? I'm done pretending that any of this bullshit makes sense. You want to talk?
Hey, listen. I cannot argue with that. Privilege is living in government house. hold on. Say that again, brother.
Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your fucking bills.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. You can't call someone racist and oppressors when they're the ones helping you live the life that you're living, live the comfortable life that you're living. That is completely backwards. Completely backwards. But carry on, brother. You cooking.
Get it? I'm done pretending that any of this bullshit makes sense. You want to talk about privilege? You want to talk about real privilege? Real privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you haven't worked a day in your life. Privilege is walking around with $300 Beats headphones while you're living on fucking food stamps, while you're on public assistance, and it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day. Privilege is having the latest smartphone with unlimited data and having zero idea where the bill goes because somebody else is always picking up the tab. Privilege is being able to protest every little thing that offends you without worrying about calling in sick to work because you don't have a fucking job. Privilege is being able to cheat, lie, fail over and over again in life and still get bailed out while people who play by the rules get punished. That's privilege. This isn't about race. This isn't about class. This is about accountability. We've got a culture that rewards victimhood and demonizes work ethic and responsibility. Meanwhile, the people holding everything together for the rest of society, they get taxed into the fucking ground, their businesses get choked by regulation, and they get personally vilified for speaking up and saying that this is bullshit. You want to talk about privilege? Then start with the people who've never paid the price, but who also scream the loudest. Because they've never had to build anything, they've never had to defend anything, they've never had to carry any real weight. And the reason they get away with it? It's because we don't live in a society of strong men anymore. No, that's been dismantled on purpose over the last 50 years because a society of strong men would never put up with any of this bullshit. And that's exactly why they came after us first.
Hey, listen. Woo! That brother, hey, he might be a chef, man, because he was cooking. He was cooking. Now listen, he's speaking facts. You can't be out here screaming, oppressor, oppressor, oppressor. This white person is racist. This white person is this and that white person. When they're helping you live the life that you're living via their taxes. And when he touched on, this person or that person wearing, Jordans and this person over here got the $300 Beats. And I know about Beats. I know. I got a pair right here, right? But I'm also not on government housing either. But he's speaking 1,000% facts. These folks who are walking in these, government offices to get their government assistance should not be driving new cars with brand new shoes, with a brand new phone, with brand new Beats. Like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And I'm happy that Trump is at least attempting to fix this issue because I've witnessed it. I've watched it. Or people selling their food stamps for money. Like, bro, how in the world do you have enough food stamps to sell in the first place? Why do you have that much? That's crazy. And like he said, victimhood is rewarded while the people who wake up every morning to go bust their ass, they get taxed out the wazoo to give to the lazy mother lovers. And honestly, the word on the streets is that the Trump administration is trying to shorten government assistance to 2 years. I think that's a little too lenient. I think that's being too nice. You got 12 months, 365 days. If you can't get your SHIT together in 365 days, then I don't know what to tell you. Live on the streets. 365 days is plenty of time to buy a toilet and a ruler and get your shit straight. It's plenty of time. And I understand everybody falls upon hard times. Life happens. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have government assistance. We most definitely should because things happen, right? Life happens sometimes. Sometimes life happens and it happens fast, right? Boom, boom, boom. We know the saying, when it rains, it pours, right? We know the saying. It's the saying for a reason, okay? So I'm not saying that people shouldn't be allowed to use government assistance. What I am saying, though, is people shouldn't be allowed to live their lives for the rest of their lives on government assistance, the way that some people are doing it. And then they want to sit here and cry, well, racism, racism, racism. While the very people that you calling racist are the ones helping you foot the bill. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. And crazy to the brother here, because he was cooking. I want to play the end of that, the second half of that video, because he said a lot there.
Class.
Let me run that back.
This is about accountability. We've got a culture that rewards victimhood and demonizes work ethic and responsibility. Meanwhile, the people holding everything together for the rest of society, they get taxed into the fucking ground. Their businesses get choked by regulation, and they get
facts. No, listen, that is 1,000% facts. I mean, you look, and it mostly happens in these liberal cities and states. You look at a place like California, where you have a governor who has blown through their budget. I mean, even if you want to look at Illinois as well, or a city like Chicago, where Brandon Johnson, the mayor of Chicago, has blown through. I mean, it's a recurring theme, blowing through their budget, mind you, for illegals, not the American citizens that are helping to hold this whole thing together via our tax dollars, via our hard labor that we wake up and work 9 to 5 for, not helping us out. Helping illegals out, giving the tax dollars to them, sending these cities and these states into debt over illegals, and then just to turn around to tax us even more just so they can recover the money that they overly spent on illegals when we've already been taxed. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Or what they do, especially in a state like California, they take funds from something else that was supposed to go towards something else, and then they allocate it back to, funds like government assistance that they took from to give to illegals. So now you took it from another state department that could have very well used it for American citizens, and you've moved it to cover your ass because you gave it all to illegals over here. It's just absolutely ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
Personally vilified for speaking up and saying that this is bullshit. You want to talk about privilege? Then start with the people who've never paid the price, but who also scream the loudest. Because they've never had to build anything. They've never had to defend anything. They've never had to carry any real weight. And the reason they get away with it, it's because we don't live in a society of strong men anymore. No, that's been dismantled on purpose over the last...
Yeah, well, what he's saying there makes me think of that one saying, strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong. It's like it's like a cycle. And I definitely feel like we're in the upswing, right? We went through the bad times, and now strong men are starting to return because of those bad times, and hopefully we get to the other side and we get to some good times, and it looks like we are going to get to good times because of the Republican majority that we have currently in the United States of America. Now, could Democrats pull it off? Yeah, I think they could, but I don't think that they will ultimately, because what they've done to this country is just disgusting. I mean, when you just talk about the illegal situation alone, I'm not one that's against helping folks, right? I'm all for helping people. But when you're sending your cities and your states into debt, and in Gavin Newsom's situation, he had a budget surplus before he took office. He sent California into debt in large part due to covering assistance for illegals. Where was all this assistance for the American citizens? I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing in Chicago. You look at all of these liberal cities. Where was this assistance for the American citizens? Where was it? They claim to care about the people, right? So much, but you neglect the people that help hold this thing together to give it to people who have never, contributed anything to the system at all. And that's supposed to be great. That's supposed to be something that we should all vote for. That's supposed to be something that we should all get behind, right? Y'all remember when Gavin Newsom had brought Xi Jinping, the dictator of China, to America, right? To California. And there was homeless people on the streets in California. And then all of a sudden they disappeared when the dictator of China came. Like they were gone, vanished. All of a sudden when somebody else comes, you can clean up the homeless issue that are on the streets, or at minimum move them to a shelter for a short period of time. But outside of that, you can't do anything about it. It's a recurring theme in Chicago. You close down the school in the black area because you say you don't have funding, but then as soon as the illegals come pouring in, all of a sudden you got all the money in the world to not only reopen that school that you said you didn't have money for, but then also to renovate it so that the illegals' families can live up top while their kids go to school down below. But that's something we're supposed to vote for. Make it make sense. You care more about the illegals than you care about your own constituents, your own American citizens that are helping to hold this thing together. It just doesn't make sense. I can't get behind something like that. I'm not. I refuse. Call me all the names you want to. I'm not getting behind a party that puts other people over American citizens. I'm not. Just because they bump their gums about caring about American citizens, look at their actions. Driving their cities and their states into debt over illegals. Not over American citizens, but over illegals. It's just crazy to me, man. It's crazy. But yeah, to circle back, man, this brother speaking 1,000% facts. 1,000% facts. These people screaming, white privilege. They're the very ones that live off of white taxpayers' backs. Right? Because a majority of this country is white. We pay taxes, right? We all pay taxes. If the majority of the country is white, you're living off of white people's back. Obviously, all of our backs, technically, right? But you get what I'm saying. You can't scream, oh, but then also, on top of that, last time I checked, did we have a black president? So that would mean in a country that is a majority white people had to vote for the black guy. Not once, but twice. Had to vote for the black guy. But of course, we live in a racist country and white privilege is so prevalent. You know, white people can do anything and everything. And us black people, I guess we're just nothings. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I'm sick of it too. I'm sick of it. I don't buy this nonsense. There's not a white person on this planet that can do anything that I'm not capable of doing. That's facts. But anyway, y'all get in the comments. Let me know your thoughts and your opinions about all of this. Stay safe. Peace.